Have you been looking for ways to naturally reshape, tone and tighten your booty or your buttocks that may be easier to follow than the normal routines that may be frustrating and time-consuming? Did you know that there are said to be actual yoga routines that are said to be easy to follow and are said to be booty shaping, tightening, and toning routines, exclusively for women? If any of this information interests you, this brief video review is for you. This video will be a brief review of the featured Yoga Burn Booty Challenge by Zoe Bray Cotton, Yoga Booty Shaping and Weight Loss Program. Now, there are links below in the video description. If at any time you would like to go straight to the official webpage that you see on your screen, just click on those links provided below in the video description, so that you may see the featured Yoga Burn Booty Challenge by Zoe Bray Cotton, Yoga Booty Shaping and Weight Loss Program information more in depth, or follow along with me in this video, if you choose to do so. Now, when you click on the links provided below in the video description, you will arrive on the page that you see right here. We will briefly go over and touch on just a few of the main points of the page, points that we believe would be of most interest to you. So, when you get to the page that you see right here on your screen, you can see that the featured yoga program is said to be a Yoga Booty Challenge. And as you can see here, there is a brief video for you to watch that is said to explain more on the featured yoga program. Just briefly take a look here, as we briefly scroll through. Now, as we can see here, right below the video that is featured, it says here that the free presentation, meaning the video, reveals and explains the follow-along from home Yoga Burn Booty Challenge. Now, the part that we want to briefly point out, that we feel would be of interest to you, is that it is said that the effectiveness of the featured Yoga Burn Booty Challenge is said to lie in the PAP method, which stands for Prime, Activate, Pump method. And as you can briefly see here, the featured method was said to be developed, based on a said to be proven principle of progressive overload to help women get into great shape. It is also said that no exercise bands or gym equipment of any kind are required to take part. Just take a brief look, as we briefly scroll here. Another brief point that we want to touch on here in this portion of our video, is right here, where it says that results may vary depending on age, weight and other biological factors as well as how long and how closely you follow the information presented. And as you may already know, as individuals will vary, so will results. Just briefly take a look here, as we briefly scroll through. You can take a look at more of the information in depth, when you click on the links provided below in the video description that will take you to the official webpage that you see on your screen. So now, as we briefly scroll here, we are going to just briefly go over and touch on the packages that are said to be available to you, and are said to be limited time offers. Here you can see that there is first, the Digital Plus Physical, which is said to contain the digital download plus the physical collection as well. Also, as we see here, there is the Digital Plus Physical ×2, which is said to contain 2 digital downloads plus 2 physical collections as well. Just briefly take a look here, as we briefly scroll through. Now, a main point that we really want to touch on here, is that the featured yoga program is said to be backed by a 100%, 60-day, money-back guarantee. And as we briefly scroll here, you can take a brief look at the featured guarantee. Just take a brief look here. Now, let's briefly go over and touch on how the featured yoga program is said to work. So, as you can briefly see here, it is said that what makes this booty sculpting routine so unique and effective is the revolutionary Prime, Activate, Pump method, which was said to be developed based on what is called the proven principle of progressive overload, and you can briefly see here, as we briefly scroll through. Also, as we scroll a bit further, we can see that it is said that the PAP is said to be designed to ensure you do the right exercise, in the right order, for the right amount of time, to perfectly target and work all 3 parts of the booty to the max, so that you get the best results possible out of every single workout. Just briefly take a look here, as we just briefly scroll through more of the description right here. Once again, you can take a look at these details more in depth, when you just click on the links provided below in the video description, so that you can visit the official webpage that you see right here on your screen, and go over these specific areas carefully. So now, as you can see here, there are said to be 3 phases that the featured yoga program has. We are just going to scroll through and just touch on the titles of each phase here and briefly scroll through each one, so that you may briefly take a look. If you would like to take a more in-depth look as we scroll, you can pause the video, Or you can just click on the links below in the video description to get right to the official page that you see right here on your screen. Now, as you can see here, we want to briefly touch on the 3 phases and their titles. Phase 1 is said to deal with what is called the priming phase. Just take a brief look here, as we briefly scroll through the details of this phase here. Phase 2 is said to deal with what is called the activate phase. Just take a brief look here, as we briefly scroll through these details of this particular phase as well. Now, as a side note, the pictures that are shown here in this portion of the page are excellent in showing what is going on while doing these exercises, in our opinion. Now, we get to the phase 3 part, which deals with what is called the pump phase. Just briefly take a look, as we briefly scroll through the details of this particular phase as well. Now, we want to briefly go over and touch on the portion of the page that deals with the questions and answers, or the frequently asked questions portion of the page, which shows some of the concerns that people have and how those concerns are addressed. Just briefly take a look here, as we briefly scroll through. Don't forget to click on those links below in the video description to go to the official web page that you see on the screen, so that you may see all of the information in more depth. Now, make sure that when you get to the official web page that you see on your screen, by clicking on the links below in the video description, that you pay particular attention to the video that is featured right at the top of the page, to give you a better picture of what the featured yoga program may be able to do for you. Also, do not forget the 100%, 60-day, money-back guarantee that is said to come with your purchase of the featured yoga program. As you can see here, as we briefly scroll. Once again, we would like to thank you for watching our brief video review. If you have found that the information presented here in this video was helpful and insightful to you, be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Remember to click on the links below in the video description to go to the official web page that you see in this video to get more information and see more. If you decide to choose the featured Yoga Burn Booty Challenge by Zoe Bray Cotton, Yoga Booty Shaping and Weight Loss Program.